Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about the hypothalamus and also anterior pituitary gland and their relation in order to produce hormones. And also I'm going to talk about some nuclei which are located in the hypothalamus and also some cells in here which are called the tropic cells or the tropes. They are different kinds and I'm going to talk about each one and also the hormones which they produce to control and regulate some other glands in our body. So, first of all, in the hypothalamus, there are some nucleuses. One of them, which I talked previously in the previous video, which were about the posterior pituitary gland, were the supraoptic nucleus and also paraventricular nucleus. There is another nucleus which is part of paraventricular nuclei. Nuclei is a group of cell bodies in the central nervous system. So these are nucleus which are the part of nuclei. So paraventricular nucleus, there was a branch, a tract in here. It would help for the oxytocin, and it would help to the oxytocin comes in here and will be released. The posterior pituitary gland does not produce hormone. It just stores what is produced in paraventricular nucleus and also supraoptic nucleus. Anyway, so right now I'm going to talk about the other part of the hypothalamus and its relation to the anterior pituitary gland. As you know, the anterior pituitary gland does not have a direct relation with the hypothalamus, so it needs to have a portal system. This is called hypophyseal portal system, hypophyseal portal vein. There are two capillary bed in here, and this is paraventricular nucleus, preoptic nucleus, and in here I have the arcuate nucleus. They release their hormones by simple diffusion, in the net capillary in here, which is the primary plexus net capillary, and then by the hypophyseal portal vein it comes to the secondary capillary net. Some hormones will be released in here and they will be brought in here. What are these hormones? The arcuate nucleus, which is located in the hypothalamus, this arcuate nucleus releases some hormones. What are they? One of them is growth hormone releasing hormone. One of them is growth hormone releasing hormone. So if we have growth hormone releasing hormone, which is a stimulatory hormone, we have growth hormone inhibitory hormone too. So it releases both growth hormone inhibitory hormone, growth hormone releasing hormone. Also it releases prolactin inhibitory hormone too, which we call the prolactin inhibitory hormone, the dopamine. So prolactin inhibitory hormone is our dopamine. So arcuate nucleus will release some hormones, which I right now named them for you: the growth hormone releasing hormone, growth hormone inhibitory hormone, and prolactin inhibitory hormone. The prolactin inhibitory hormone is called the dopamine too. It will come by simple diffusion in the bed capillary, in the net capillary in here, which is the primary plexus hypophyseal net capillary. And then by the portal vein, it will hypophyseal vein, it will come in here. So the target cell is located in the anterior pituitary gland. And what is the name of the target cell? It must be a trope. But what kind of trope? It is somatotrope. The target cell is called somatotrope. Somatotrope is a target cell for growth hormone releasing hormone and growth hormone inhibitory hormone. It has receptors for these hormones and it will produce the growth hormone itself. And growth hormone will go and affect in many parts of the body, in many tissues, and it has receptors on many tissues. On the other hand, so if the growth hormone in the body will be less, there is a signal to the brain that the growth hormone is less. Let's produce growth hormone releasing hormone and stimulate this somatotrope. This trope, we must stimulate it, and this will become stimulated. The growth hormone will be a lot. This is one of the pathways which this releasing for the arcuate nucleus, for the growth hormone releasing hormone, is controlled. There are other pathways. For example, if the glucose in my blood will be less, if amino acids in the blood will be less, if fatty acid in the blood will be less. These are some signals to the arcuate nucleus. It will understand, the signals will come in here. Okay, the fatty acid is less, the glucose is less in the blood, the amino acid is less, we have hypoglycemia, so you must produce growth hormone releasing hormone and growth hormone releasing hormone by the hypophyseal portal vein will come in here to the somatotrope and stimulate it. And finally we have growth hormone, and growth hormone will go and increase the glucose in the blood, increase the amino acid in the blood, increase the fatty acid in the blood by some other pathways. So another nuclei, which are the group of cell bodies. There are lots of nucleuses in here, but I call only one of them. This is one nucleus, so it is called preoptic nucleus. In here I had supraoptic nucleus, in here I have preoptic nucleus. So the preoptic nucleus, what it produces? It produces gonadotropin releasing hormone and gonadotropin inhibitory hormone. And it will come in the net capillary, it will come by the hypophyseal portal vein down to the gonadotrope. There are lots of tropes located in here. One of them is gonadotrope, and it will produce FSH and LH, follicular stimulating hormone and also luteinizing hormone. So what it does, it will go to the gonads and have its effect. But how these hormones are regulated? For the high frequency, the LH will be released more than FSH, and for the low frequency, the FSH will be released more than LH. And in fact, for the low frequency, FSH is releasing mostly. But for the high frequency, the LH is releasing. And what I mean that, okay, all in all, the FSH and LH must increase. And if the frequency of the action potential which comes in here will be a lot, the frequency of action potential will be a lot, then there is a signal for LH. And if the frequency is low, there is a signal for FSH. Okay. So I just wanted to add about prolactin inhibitory hormone. It is released from arcuate nucleus. Arcuate nucleus releases prolactin inhibitory hormone. Another name is dopamine. It will come into the capillary bed, the primary capillary bed. Then it will come into the portal vein system, hypophyseal portal vein system or hypophyseal portal vein. And in here I have the secondary capillary bed, and it will go for the lactotrope. It's another kind of trope, another kind of cell which has receptor for prolactin inhibitory hormone. Okay, wait. So in here, prolactin inhibitory hormone is inhibitory. So if the amount of prolactin inhibitory hormone will be high, it inhibits. If it will be low, it stimulates. In fact, it doesn't inhibit. So if it is high, then it inhibits and we don't have prolactin. But the lactotrope does not produce prolactin. But if it is low, yes, it is a stimulatory. Let's produce prolactin. Another point, if we have the breastfeeding process, yes, it is a stimulatory for producing prolactin. But if we have high estrogen level, or for example, we have birth control pills, they are inhibitory. It means that they will stimulate prolactin inhibitory hormone, so they will stimulate the arcuate nucleus to produce more prolactin inhibitory hormone. In here, the frequency of prolactin inhibitory hormone will be high. It means that it will inhibit this lactotrope, and we don't have prolactin. So another time, if we have breastfeeding, it means the baby wants milk. Prolactin is for milk. It is for making milk. So if we have breastfeeding process, it is inhibitory for arcuate nucleus, but stimulatory for prolactin. It means PIH, which is dopamine, will be inhibited. But if we have estrogen level and also estrogen level, which is high, or birth control pills, they stimulate the arcuate nucleus, so we have more prolactin inhibitory hormone. It means we have more dopamine, and in here the prolactin is less. It means there must be no milk production. So another nucleus or nuclei which I want to talk is the group of paraventricular nucleus. And what are they? The paraventricular nucleus is a nucleus which produces corticotropin releasing hormone, corticotropin inhibitory hormone, and also thyrotropin releasing hormone, thyrotropin inhibitory hormone. And what are these? First, about corticotropin releasing hormone. It produces one hormone which name is corticotropin releasing hormone. It will come into the capillary bed, the primary plexus capillary of the hypophyseal portal system. So it will come into the hypophyseal portal vein, and finally it will go to reach its target cell. And what is its target cell? It is a kind of trope which is called a corticotrope, and this cell produces POMH. And what is POMH? It is melanocortin. It is melanocortin. And this POMH, which is melanocortin, is a precursor. It means that it is not a hormone and it will not release. It won't be released. It is only inside the cell. This melanocortin. This melanocortin is not a hormone. It is a precursor, and its name is POMC. And it will finally is a precursor for alpha MSH and also ACTH. And what is this? It's alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone and also adrenal corticotropin hormone. And this alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone and adrenal corticotropin hormone, they will be released finally from this trope, from this corticotrope. So what happened? Another time. We have paraventricular nucleus. The paraventricular nucleus releases corticotropin releasing hormone. Corticotropin releasing hormone from the capillaries come down, will join its target cell. The target cell is a trope. What kind of trope? Corticotrope. And it will make first pro-opiomelanocortin. This pro-opiomelanocortin inside the cell will change its way and its pathway to two hormones. One, alpha melanocyte stimulating hormone and also adrenal corticotropin hormone. And adrenal corticotropin hormone is going to its target cell, to the adrenal gland, to make cortisol, which I'm going to talk about this specifically in the next video. But it releases corticotropin inhibitory hormone too, which will inhibit this process. It means we don't have cortisol. Another thing will stimulate this paraventricular nucleus to produce corticotropin releasing hormone. What are those? If I have fever, if it will be hypoglycemia, it means if the blood glucose will be less, if there will be a fever, or if I'm under the stress, then paraventricular nucleus will be activated and I have corticotropin releasing hormone, and finally it will go to the corticotropes, and finally I have adrenal corticotropin hormone, which will go for the adrenal gland, the cortex of it, and will release for the specific part of the cortex, which I'm going to talk about it in the next video. But it will release finally the cortisol. So this is the pathway. And also this paraventricular nucleus will release the thyrotropin releasing hormone too, and also thyrotropin inhibitory hormone, and it will come to another trope. What kind of trope? Thyrotrope. It is a thyrotrope. So thyrotropin releasing hormone and thyrotropin inhibitory hormone will come to the thyrotrope, which is a trope, and also it is in the anterior pituitary gland, and it will secrete TSH, which is the thyroid stimulating hormone, which is going to the thyroid gland, and we will have T4 and T3. Or it can be inhibited in here by thyrotropin inhibitory hormone, and this TSH won't be released. So all in all, there are some nuclei in here. They will release their hormone in the hypophyseal portal vein and hypophyseal portal system, and finally there are some tropes in here, different kinds of tropes, and they will release some other hormones which go to other glands of our body, or will go to other tissues of our body, and maybe they are not glands, but about 90% is the gland. But there are some tropes which will go to not a gland, but they are under the effect of the hypothalamus. All in all, this video is done. I don't have anything to add in this video. Only in the next videos, what is the plan? I'm going to talk about the thyroid gland, and also I'm going to talk about the adrenal gland, and I'm going to talk about a little about the pancreas, and that's it. I don't have anything to add in this video. Thank you.